What's up, YouTube? This is Damon, aka the world's worst magician, and today I'll be bringing you a review of the original S.S.S by Shin Lim. So, there is a 2015 edition that just came out after his popularity on, excuse me, Penn and Teller's Fool Us. The new edition, it's important to note that it's the same gimmick. He just changed the instructions. So, when this one came out, and this is the original, there was a lot of people were very mad about the instructions that he gave, and they basically, for lack of a better way to put it, they hated it. So what he's done is he's come out with new instructions, but I had already ordered this before I found out that he was releasing the new one, and then since it's just an update in instructions, I felt like I'll just get this one at a discount rather than buying the new one. Plus it's on pre-order, so it won't be coming out for a little while. But anyways, if you're not familiar with this effect, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can pick it up in the trailer. But what it is S.S.S stands for sleeveless silent smoke. So what it means is that, you can have no sleeves and you can still produce smoke. In the trailer, you'll see that he does it from three different positions. One is from the mat, another is from his hand, and then the third is from his mouth. So what I'm going to do is I did a very short demonstration. You can use glasses. I got my little shot glass here or whatever. But you can use things like this to fill these up with smoke, or you can use under a card. You can do a change. You can do whatever. I just had it come out of the mat. So let's take a look at what that looks like right now. Okay, so as you see, you can snap your fingers and on command make smoke come out. And, please, the mat that I use, that was actually a makeshift one because there is some construction that has to take place in order for you to do that. So what I did is I just quickly built a very small mat just so I could display that. So that's not my normal working mat or anything like that. But anyway, there is some construction involved. You do receive a gimmick with the DVD. And instructions on how to do different parts of the effect. So, as always, let's kind of start with the negatives. The instruction, to me, I wasn't that mad about it. He doesn't, there's kind of things that he says, hey, I'll get into this later, and then some of them he doesn't actually get into them. So it seemed more like he was just talking through it rather than having the points written down and then speaking through them. It seemed like he was just shooting from the hip, like, okay, hey, let's talk about this, and then just cover everything that was in his head. But it should have been kind of a more formal, I mean, you're teaching this to people, right? They paid for it, so you should have a structure to kind of walk people through it. That said, the instructions are still good enough to get the gist, to know what you're supposed to do. But the big negative for me, excuse me, is one, if you're going to do it on the mat, it is pretty angle sensitive. There is a cover you can use to where you can get, I would say, about 160 degrees, but you wouldn't want anybody standing directly next to you, and you definitely cannot have people standing behind you. Also, if you're doing the mat part, you could do it in a street magic sense, but it would be very difficult. So this is more for if you're going to do like a stage magic presentation, or you just have a controlled environment where you have a table set up and, like I said, nobody behind you or directly to the side of you. So that's for the mat portion. The second piece is having it appear in your hands. That also takes setup and I'm not going to say specialized clothing, but the way that he teaches it, you would need a certain type of shirt to be able to pull it off. I think you could probably come up with some other ways to do it, but the way that he shows you need a special kind of shirt. And then the last thing is the change that kind of blows everybody's mind, and it's a card to mouth routine where he opens his mouth, smoke comes out, and then their card is displayed. So in that portion of it, here's the big negative for me right there. The prop or gimmick that he uses is actually Alan Rorison's smoke. And he tells you that, you can buy this from that trick. So it's to tell somebody to buy another $50 trick after they've bought your $30 trick is that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The effect is awesome and I like it, but essentially what he's telling you to do is go buy somebody else's trick. And if I had known that, then I would have just bought somebody else's trick, right? Like, why would I buy this one so that I could do somebody else's trick? That doesn't make sense to me. So there's a gimmick that comes with smoke that he uses, and it's not the same gimmick that you will use for S.S.S. So that's a big negative for me, is that you basically would need two different flavors, if you will, of the gimmick to be able to make this happen. So that said, maybe you should just get smoke. If that's the part that really interests you, like the card to mouth, doing the smoke and presenting the card, I think you should just go with the other product and leave it at that. This product is basically a better idea for how to work with your mat and a stand-up performance and do it, like I said, about 160 degrees would keep you safe. But that's what this is going to show you. So what you're paying for here is a gimmick that allows you to put the smoke, into those different circumstances, whether it be from your clothes or from your mat, but it will not show you or will not allow you to do it from your mouth. To do it from your mouth, you got to get smoke. Now there's a workaround. I can't really show it to you. And he actually said in the DVD, he tells you that he's not going to specifically tell you how to do the card to mouth routine fully, because that's what's won him his last 2 awards. So basically he's telling you, hey, don't buy my routine. I'm not going to show you how to do it exactly because I don't want you to steal it, because this is my routine. So that being said, I think he should have just left it off rather than showing you glimpses of it and showing you his performance and then telling you, hey, this is super cool, check it out. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'd rather you just never even showed it and then nobody would even want it, but it is a super cool effect. So he partially shows you how to do it, but he's not going to walk you through details on how to do it all. So the positives are, as you saw in the demo video there, you can make it work. And it is smoke on command. And, it adds to it. Just, the effect of doing a card switch or something like that, or making a card disappear and then there's just the smoke left on your mat or something like that. I think it's super cool. I think it's pretty creative. The gimmick that he gives you to allow you to be able to do stuff like that. But just know that this is not something that you're going to be able to do on the street or pretty much outside. I mean, smoke is a bad idea outside if it's windy or whatever. I mean, you need a slightly controlled environment just so they can make out the smoke, they can see it, they can understand it. Smoke from your mouth, you can do that pretty much anywhere. But again, if you want smoke from your mouth, you may want to just go with smoke instead of S.S.S, because the setup that you use to perform smoke from your clothes or smoke from your mat is not the setup that you will use to perform it from your mouth. So I'm not mad about this purchase. I'm not mad about his instructions. He could have formatted it better, stepped us through it logically, and then he could have not included the mouth part instead of showing it to you and then telling you I'm not going to give it to you. But if you want something creative, if you do a lot of mat magic or you do wear button-down shirts, this could be great for you. And the method it's really sound. And he's right when he says that it's silent. If you do it wrong, you can hear a little something, but if you're in a noisy environment, if you're on stage, if there's music playing, whatever, people they're not gonna notice it. It's very small noise. But if you do it right, there's actually no noise at all. So I practiced for a little while and I was able to do it with no noise. So if you want to pick it up, I would suggest trying to find this one maybe on eBay or something. This is the original, instead of buying the new one, because you're just going to get, even if he formats the instructions better, it's not going to tell you how to do the magic better, right? Like, this still covers the fundamentals of what you're going to need to do and how you're going to need to do it. So updated instructions, they're not going to help you that much So if you don't want to wait, you could probably get this one at a discount. And sorry for taking up a lot of your time. This has been a super long review, but I know that a lot of people have been wondering about this, and I wanted to go into detail about what you can and cannot do with this, and what your angles are. The reset is instant on this, so you can do it as long as your gimmick holds up, which should be a really long time. So let me know if you have any questions about this one. I know this is a hot topic since he was on Penn and Teller, and that's why I wanted to get it and do this, because I had reviewed Myst, which I'm not even going to go into. I'll leave a link to Myst if you want to check that out. But I'm highly interested in the smoke phenomenon that's going on right now, so I'm kind of going through all these. But yeah, again, this has been a look at Shin Lim's S.S.S, which stands for Sleeveless Silent Smoke. And I'll leave a link in the description where you can find this. All right, see ya. Well, I hope you liked that review. And if you have any questions, magic tricks, or decks that you want to see reviewed, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that like button and subscribe for any future reviews. All right,